it would just lower down. Time to say goodbye.
Hugo has joined the party in his Capri.
Really special, rare beast, a ton of really cool stuff. Big speed bumps. Oh, it's our final day here in Northern Ireland, and weather-wise, it's set to be a better one than was originally forecast. But last night, there was quite a bit of rain, which meant I had to make a bit of a repair on Esther, my ST170-powered Mk1 Escort. This thing for ages now has had an issue with the driver's side door glass, where I wasn't able to wind it all the way up, and I'd have to put it up with my hand, but over time, especially when it was raining, it would just lower down with gravity, and I didn't want to get a ton of rainwater inside Esther's cockpit. So last night in the dark, I removed the driver's side carbon fibre door card and sorted out the problem. Now, what has happened in the past, if I wind this down, is that this metal bit here has come off the glass, which has then meant that the mechanism doesn't push the glass up and down. And that's what I'd thought had happened again, but that wasn't the case. What had actually happened this time is 3 of these 4 screws where the mechanism is actually attached to the door had come out. So when you was winding this up, the mechanism itself was just doing this, or the plate of the mechanism was doing this, and it just meant that the window wasn't able to go all the way up. So that's solved. And before we do anything today, I need to refit Esther's door card, and then we can go and get some breakfast. Sorted. Cheeky midnight blue RS2000 in Enniskillen town.
All right, breakfast done, and it's time to crack on with our day, which is going to include another car show. 2 car shows in 2 days. We're heading to a town called Bourne, which is actually across the border in the Republic of Ireland, to attend the Bourne Festival, is it?
Summer Festival.
Summer Festival. Basically, in the south of Ireland, it's bank holiday weekend, so there's been this 4-day event this weekend in Bourne, a festival with loads of stuff going on. But today, part of what's going on is a vintage car show, which is going to include farm machinery and stuff like restored tractors and whatnot, but also a ton of classic cars. So we're going to go and check that out. We're actually going to go to meet up with Padraig first. I think he's going to be bringing his Mk1 Escort rally car, and it's only about 12 miles away, I think, from Padraig's place.
Time to say goodbye to the Tommy Mackinnon Evo, which won 2nd best car at yesterday's The Summit show. It's got to be one of the best examples around. Absolutely pristine. Slightly modified, but he's got all the original bits anyway. Proper bit of kit. Even if it is cheating bringing it here on a trailer. And out comes Padraig's beast, ready for today's trip to the show. Before we head to Bourne, there's someone else we need to meet up with.
Hugo has joined the party in his Capri. 3-car convoy.
After a cruise through the countryside, including crossing over the border into the Republic of Ireland, we've made it to Bourne. So let's check out this car show. All right, well, we are parked a little bit out of the way, which is inevitable when you turn up late like we have today. But on the way in, we could see that there's a ton of cool cars here, real variety as well, which is always cool. And there's definitely at least a few cars here that were at the summit yesterday. And we saw the Mk2 RS2000 that we saw earlier in Enniskillen. So, as usual, I'm going to cue some music and get a closer look at some of the cool bits that are here today.
I reckon our trio of classic Fords look pretty good parked up next to each other with the bonnets up, even if I do say so myself. And they're getting attention from other people already. Check out this Mark III Capri that I've stumbled upon with a really cool pattern on the interior. This Anglia looks awesome as well, but I don't want to get in the way of the guys who are trying to sort out a mechanical issue. We've got a cheeky pair of classic Minis here and a nice Manta with a cool interior. And check out the Mordor Mark II Escort sitting on alley cat rims with a bright red interior. This Peugeot 205 has a Rouge mascot. Here we've got an Orion sitting on pepper pots, and here we've got another Mark II RS 2000. And what about this? A mint E21 Beamer. This Manta is really special with its wide body and its really cool spoiler. The vented bonnet is from a 400 model, but the owner tells me this is actually a GTE. This beige Mark II Escort RS 2000 is mint and looks pretty original. Check out the Toyota Celica from the 1980s, parked next to this mint E30 Beamer. I love a gold Mark II Cortina 1600E, and this one looks absolutely mint. This wide-arched Mini Cooper is right up my street. And how about this? A Morris 8 Series Z van. There's a ton of tractors at this show, including one we found that's a Lambo. And on the little market they've got, I found this sphere made out of welded together horseshoes. Back to the cars, and I'm loving this bright yellow MR2. And there's some really old bits in this corner. This Mark 1 is absolutely lovely, as is this old VW camper. Check out this pair of Triumph Heralds, an Austin Healey Sprite and an old school Sirocco. Back to the 1920s with this Model A, and check out the Mordor Mark III Cortina. This Mazda RX-7 is awesome and absolutely pristine. And here's not one, but two old school Beetles. I'm loving the interior on this green one. Whilst the marching band are doing their thing, it's time to check out this Mark I Capri. Here's a 2.8 injection Mark III and another Morris 8, this time a saloon. We have another classic Mini, another 1600E and another Mark II Escort RS 2000. And check out the Fordson E83W van. This very familiar Chevette is a rare beast, a 1 of 10 HSX. This example is modified, but a super cool old school Vauxhall nonetheless. For a relatively small classic car show, this event has a ton of really cool stuff, and I'm so glad we made the trip to check it out.
All right, time for us to do the off. Just navigating this steep hill, which we definitely wouldn't have made it down without scraping if it wasn't for the adjustments we made on the front suspension of this thing before we made this trip. But yeah, what a cool little show this has been to check out. Loads of really cool cars. Got chatting to loads of really cool car enthusiasts, including a couple that did recognise us from YouTube, which is always cool. Yeah, we'll get out of here and then make our way back to Padraig's place, and eventually we'll be making our way back up to Belfast to catch our ferry. Unfortunately, this is our last day over this side of the Irish Sea, but yeah, what a pucker trip it's been.
On the way out of the show, there were some quite big speed bumps.
Oh,
one of which we got beached on. We did get a cool gift on the way out though.
oh, thank you. Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Check that out. Got a free mug. Thank you, sir.
With hours to kill until we need to get our ferry, we've got plenty of time to grab a pizza at Franco's with Padraig and Maria. And check out this crazy Mustang that's parked outside.
Padraig's got the VIP parking right outside the pizza place we're going into.
So fun fact, this pizza is actually called a Ferrara, which is Kat's surname.
It is time for us to head to Belfast to catch our ferry. Are we going to see one last send from Padraig before we go? Padraig's way more behaved behind the wheel when Maria's in the passenger seat.
Yeah. You should learn that.
No. If you don't like my driving, the door's there.
We are not the only old school Ford in the queue for the boat. 2 old school Ford Tratters. And over here, Ferrari. Ferrari.
All right, we have made it back to home sweet home, and I am knackered. Excuse the makeshift bonnet stay, but yeah, driving this thing for hours and hours and hours on the motorway really does take it out of you. And to be honest, I didn't get a great sleep on the ferry last night. We actually stopped twice on the way back from Birkenhead, once to have a half-hour nap, and then again we stopped at my dad's place, which is kind of on the way. But yeah, really glad that this thing made it to Northern Ireland and back again. But yeah, some familiar issues raised their ugly heads on the way back home today. I mentioned in a recent video that on the way to the Ford show at Santa Pod, the coolant temperature gauge kept going down to 0 all of a sudden, and I was getting symptoms where every now and again you'd go to boot it and there was just no power. And I don't think those issues are related. No, they don't always correlate. And the actual sender that controls the coolant gauge is just for the coolant gauge. There's a separate sensor which the ECU uses to control fueling and that sort of thing. Although the issue where it's really down on power and, you know, the engine sounds a bit different is exactly how it runs when the engine's cold, which is why I kind of thought that it was also to do with the coolant temperature. But on the way home today, I had a thought, and that is that when the engine's cold, the VVT solenoid is essentially ignored by the ECU. So I think part of the reason, or a lot of the reason why it's down on power when the engine's cold is because the VVT isn't working. If you unplug the VVT on an ST170 that's been mapped to use the VVT, then it's really down on power. So I think the issues I'm having more recently with it being feeling like it's down on power is actually the VVT solenoid. Now, it's worth noting that when we stopped for me to have a nap, I did have a fiddle with the wire that goes to the sender that controls the coolant gauge. And since I did that, the coolant gauge didn't go down to 0 at all. So I do think that that's just a loose connection issue. And when I stopped at my dad's, I moved the strut brace out of the way, took this cover off and had a look at the VVT wiring. There was nothing wrong with the VVT wiring, but I unplugged the VVT and plugged it back in. And since then, on the way back from my dad's to here, I didn't have the issue with the engine feeling like it was down on power. So unless it's just a coincidence, I do think I'm right in thinking that the issues I'm having when it feels like it's down on power is to do with the VVT solenoid or its wiring. So yeah, just a couple of things that I can investigate more deeply when I rip this thing apart. But yeah, just really glad that she made it home. Now, I am absolutely knackered, but I've got a ton of work to do for the rest of today. I'm going back to do my day job tomorrow, of course. But yeah, really need to end this video here. Before I go though, got to send a massive thanks out to everyone over in Northern Ireland for making our trip so awesome. We get so much support over there and everyone's really welcoming. And yeah, the summit event in general is just epic. Special thanks to Padraig and Maria Murphy and Joseph and Emma, their kids, for not only putting effort into running the show and stuff, but also taking time to make sure that we were all right. And yeah, they have an army of friends and family that help them run the show as well. So yeah, huge thanks to everyone involved with that event. It's an awesome event. It raises money for a really good cause. And yeah, it's really good for that community. You know, everyone comes together and yeah, it's just awesome. Amazing atmosphere, really cool cars, really cool people to chat to. And yeah, well worth the trip over. But yeah, that is all I've got for this video. As always, massive thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Huge thanks, as always, to my patrons for your ongoing support. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.
The Summit Classic Car Show aims to raise money for the Parkinson's Support for Manor charity, which offers connection, support and a sense of purpose to those living with the condition. If you've enjoyed the videos that I created on my Northern Ireland trip, please do consider donating to the Parkinson's Support for Manor charity using the link in the description below. Huge thanks in advance from me and all the summit organisers to those of you that do kindly decide to donate.